Welcome back to Space Beat, powered by the USA Today Florida Network. This week, we are talking all things Starbase and Starship, SpaceX's grand plan to take us to the moon and Mars. And there is nobody on our team better prepared to talk about this than Space Team reporter Rick Neale. Rick, welcome to Space Beat.
Hey, thanks for having me, Rob.
No problem. Okay, so last week before, you spent an awful lot of time at Starbase in Texas. Now, we're going to show some footage here. This is unusual footage because it's very wet there. It looks like Starbase was dropped down in the middle of the Everglades or a swamp, but you say it doesn't look like that at all, correct?
Well, when I was there, it was like some of the locals were saying, hey, it'd been quite a while since they'd had any rain. And I actually spent about a 3-day period there. I did speak with some of the local residents, and unlike here at the Cape, you have Boca Chica Boulevard, which enables you to simply drive 20-ish miles from Brownsville all the way to the beach, and you go directly past the giant Star Factory. You've got the Rocket Garden with, Starship super heavy boosters and the huge twin launch towers. One of them is the Mechazilla with the chopsticks. But yeah, long story short, it was extremely dry when I was there, just all flat sand while driving in for long stretches. It's real similar to the Merritt Island National Wildlife Refuge. Some areas are scrubby, some areas look more like a prairie, but some of the areas got pretty wet because they had a tropical wave of some sort that came ashore. So it was across the Brownsville area in South Texas. It was raining really hard. So I know this is some helicopter footage here. And it's some of that. It's like again, it's like here at the Cape. You go during the dry season and it's extremely dry from a lot of these vista points. This makes it look like a large scale, the marsh is back to life sort of thing.
Okay, so Rick, what did you learn about Starship and Starbase from the people there in the area?
Yeah, I actually spoke with a few very much SpaceX supporters. And the way they say, it's unlike here at the Cape, we've got generations of history here, going back to the early missile days, actually with Bumper 8. This just marked the 75th anniversary of missiles and rockets being launched here through various iterations of installations and, Kennedy Space Center being far more recent in that past. Some of the people there, and some of the stories you read, they view it as like a SpaceX takeover in a lot of ways. But, the folks I chatted with are big space fans. And I did check out, the mayor of Brownsville did note in his State of the City address that about 2,100 people, it's got to be more than that by now, but 2,100 SpaceX employees are there. So there's housing that's being built. This is a big, and it's only the beginning stages because, just like last night, Starship had its 10th test flight. These are very early versions of the Starship. So, by the Star Factory that they just built, you go to the SpaceX website, they are hoping to build up to 1,000 per year. So it's kind of very sci-fi sort of vision.
1,000 starships per year, correct?
Yeah. So okay. It's extremely sci-fi kind of things, where they would all be being launched from and so forth. Will we get a factory here at the Cape eventually? Will they be transported by barge for a launch here? These are the things. It's going to be an evolving, multiple iterations kind of thing as the years go by.
Okay, so let's just do a quick educational course, I would say, for people who don't know. So Starship is Elon Musk's vehicle to get humans to the moon and to Mars. In fact, NASA is looking at using Starship as the lunar lander, correct?
And all forms, even fueling in orbit being a key component of that too. And with Mars, you only have every few years you have a window in which you can launch. So Starship's going to play as things stand, an expansive role in all this for sure. So, and a lot of the at Starbase, just this, I'm kind of spoiled because I go to the KSC press site all the time. I'm by the vehicle assembly building. You see Pad 39A. You see launches from up close of the Falcon 9s pretty frequently. But that's still driving all along. Looking at these towering, huge facilities that SpaceX has in Texas is extremely impressive.
Yeah. Okay. So, speaking of towering facilities in Texas, now there is a plan to eventually move Starship to Florida, correct, or at least launch them from here. What are we looking at so far as timeline on that? Do we have that yet?
That it remains to be seen, at least. The plans are, or there's environmental studies underway for two locations. That's Pad 39A at Kennedy Space Center, old shuttle pad,
That's
and
where
a launch
that's where they're
complex.
launching. That's where they're launching Starlink missions from now, right?
Yeah, they
Um,
uh, just launched one. Well, they're launching one at 1:27 a.m. For example, tomorrow. So most of them take place from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station, and that's where LC 37 is. That's United Launch Alliance's old Delta pad. That is going to be outfitted also for Starship operations. So you'll have both bordering facilities. Each will have a Starship base of operations for launches, and that includes the super heavy booster, which it's been caught a couple times by the Mechazilla
right. That's
launch pad.
the thing that comes in with the chopsticks, and I'm
Yeah,
trying to keep the camera here. Comes in with the chopsticks, just kind of grabs the booster as it comes back down.
right.
Unlike the Falcon 9 that has the landing gear and comes down on the pad and just lands very nicely, gets caught by the robots on the ship or lands
Yeah.
at one of the pads out there at the Cape. Okay, so kind of pivoting a little bit, but on that same topic. Now, there are some concerns about when Starship moves to the Space Coast, and there are people that are already upset that a favorite beach might get shut down a couple times a year because of this.
Well,
What's
yes.
going on there?
A very conservative estimate from the FAA right now is for 60 and a half days cumulative. That'd be like, off the top of my head, I think 33 to 44 full days, and I believe 33 partial days as well. Those are all early estimates. And that is like, if you're driving toward Planlinda, you go through the refuge and there's the road going north. Well, that passes, you can clearly see that goes really close to Pad 39A, relatively speaking. So, at least for starters, the FAA is considering that within a launch security zone. So, for safety, they don't want people nearby, that sort of thing, and they would close down the beach area. So, this is real similar to a 1980 fight. I just wrote about this. There was a group called Save Our Beach because NASA was considering permanent closure of that stretch of Playa Linda Beach because of security for the upcoming space shuttle program. So there were many years, they had closures, off and on, depending on what was happening mission wise and so forth. But they, in the end, by 1993, they rerouted a portion of State Road 402. That's the road that you're heading eastward to the beach on, and that kind of it jogs northward now where the entrance booth is to Canaveral National Seashore. That little jog was put in. A lot of that goes back to this 1980 Save Our Beach battle sort of thing. It's a grassroots group based out of Titusville, but it's proposed right now by the FAA. It's not resolved, not set in stone, and from the sounds of things, based on my reporting, and also from the FAA's environmental impact statement, this could start off as a large closure zone. I guess SpaceX did this with Falcon 9. As rockets continue going, they collect more data and it becomes more routine. They will shrink the zone. So that could end up, clearly pulling away from the Playa Linda access. So again, these are all years to be determined, at least. But the FAA is collecting public comments from this, both in writing and in person meetings. and there's I attended one yesterday up at the KSC Visitor Complex, and it was a lot of extremely concerned people, there obviously. And there's also other, you're looking at the sonic booms, you're looking at potential um, plane traffic delays and diversions and stuff. Just a lot of questions at this stage. That a lot of these details will follow.
Starship has not had a, shall we say, successful track record of uh, of not having an anomalous vehicle disintegration. Let's put it that way. It's had several instances where the ship itself has blown up. Are you hearing from people on the Space Coast the concerns about that happening here, and that debris going in the ocean right off the Space Coast? Is that something that's of concern that you're getting already?
There's like watching the from yesterday's meetings at the visitor complex. I was watching some of the Orlando TV interviews afterwards, and there are people literally saying that they are afraid that Starship is going to destroy their house. That's a literal statements right there. So yeah, there's it's just a lot of unknown at this stage. And by the way, Starship did have their 10th test flight last night, and I was watching portions of that. And from the sounds of things, from pretty much all reports, it went great. At least they did some simulated Starlink satellite deployments. They aren't actual satellites; they're like dummies, I suppose. And they did some maneuvers with the booster and with the Starship as well. It's still just testing a lot of systems and so forth, but it's not like the rapid unscheduled disassemblies, I guess, that the previous 3 missions this year had. So this one was a big success.
As they say, Rick, the 10th time's the charm. So,
sure.
Forget the 3rd time. 10th time's the charm.
And these are rapidly evolving prototypes as well. So there's every mission they're reconfiguring and rebuilding all sorts of stuff.
SpaceX has always been that company that's been okay, let's try it. Oh, it blew up. Okay, well, why did it blow up? Okay, we'll fix that. Okay, now let's try it again. Oh, it blew up again. Well, why did it blow up? Oh, okay, well, let's fix that. And have progressively just pushed and pushed and pushed until they finally got success, and have not stopped until they were successful. And now that they're successful, they're certainly not stopping, based on the cadence of space Starlink launches that we're seeing. So I don't see any slowdown for Starship. Elon Musk is certainly a man on a mission when it comes to getting to Mars. So indeed, I told Brooke last week, and I'll say the same thing to you as a space aficionado. I really appreciate the work that you and Brooke do to cover every live launch. Those push notifications off the Florida Today app that fueling is now underway and liftoff, so that I know that it got off the ground or it didn't get off the ground, are great. Give me time to run outside and look up at the sky and see if I can see anything. So very much appreciated, Rick. Thank you so much for joining me today. Okay, that's it for this week. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button so that you never miss an episode of Space Beat or one of our space videos. That's it for this week. Join us again next week when I believe Eric Legato will be back with us talking about the latest space industry news. See ya.